Hi, kinder friends. This is Mrs. Armitage. I hope you had a good first week of school because I know I sure did. I just want to do a quick review of some of the things that you're going to need to remember when we see each other on Monday. Okay, friends, remember we have this little round circle. It's the mute button. That means we're very quiet when Mrs. Armitage is teaching. And if you want to say something, you're going to raise your hand. And then you're going to unmute yourself when I call on you. Some of the rules that we need to remember when we're in school. If teacher's talking, we need to be listening, so quiet voice. Your eyes need to be watching, always on Mrs. Armitage. Are your ears listening to Mrs. Armitage so you can hear all the directions of our jobs that we're going to be doing that day? I hope so. And of course, our body needs to be still. If we're moving all around like this, it's kind of distracting, not just to me, but probably to some of your classmates. So remember, keep your body still as best you can. I'll try, I promise, to give you a lot of wiggle breaks, and we'll try to do a lot of fun dancing songs to help get those wiggles out. So friends, the other thing I want to talk to you about is the tools that you need when we come to class. You're of course going to need your crayon box. You're going to need your scissors. And you're going to need your glue stick. You're going to need your work all ready. Sit down at where you sit, ready to go. Okay? And remember, when we do our coloring, it's slow and careful, not scribble scrabble like a pig. And because you're either 5 years old, or maybe some of you are 6 years old, that's how many color crayons you have to use when we do our coloring job. Now, Mrs. Armitage, she's 59. That's way too many colors for her to use, but I can pick some of my favorite colors, and I'm just gonna do a quick coloring for you so you can remember that we have to do slow and careful. So here's my picture. Remember we did Jack and Jill? Mrs. Armitage is going to take a green crayon. It's one of my favorite colors. And I'm going to color the hat. See that hat there? I'm going to color it green. And I'm going to go slow and careful, slow and careful. Not like a pig. Not like a pig. That's how I color. That's how I color. Slow and careful. Isn't that a nice job? I tried not to leave any white spots on my picture. Then I'm going to pick another color. But friend, do you know what? Last year I had some students in my class color like this. Watch. Oh my. Was that slow and careful? That was not slow and careful. That was more like a pig. So remember, nicest work. Sometimes Mrs. Armitage will say, time up. And that means even if you didn't get a chance to finish all the coloring, that's okay. Because when we're not in class together, you have time that you can finish coloring it. So it just depends on the time. Now remember, the tool that we use for cutting are the scissors. And our thumb is always on top. Remember, friends, there's a little hole and then there's a big hole in your scissors. Your thumb goes in the little hole and your fingers go in the big hole. And remember, when we cut, we say open and shut, open and shut. That is how we cut, cut, cut. And we need to make sure, friends, that we're not holding our scissors the wrong way, because you really can't cut like that. Okay, so watch Mrs. Armitage do some cutting, okay? Just so that you remember what we learned when we started on Monday. Actually, it wasn't Monday, was it? It was Thursday, Wednesday. I don't remember, but that's okay. Here we go. Watch Mrs. Armitage. Do you see this line here? I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to go open and shut, open and shut. That is how I cut, cut, cut. Now remember, sometimes you have to turn your paper when you're cutting. So when I take this triangle that I'm going to cut out, because that's what we were working on, I'm going to open and shut, and I'm going to cut. And I have to turn my paper. See, I was like that. Now I have to turn it this way. And I'm going to cut, 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 cut. And then I have my triangle cut out. The other tool you're going to need is your glue stick. The glue stick has a little lid on it. You pull it up, and then you take your little orange tabby at the bottom and you twist it just a little, no more. And when you use your glue, friends, it's just a little bit of glue, a little bit of glue. Do not smash it, because then you won't have glue anymore. We have to take care of our glue and be very careful. So then, when I have my glue on my paper, I'm ready to glue my picture on, and I'm gonna match it just like that, and I'm gonna hold it tight, and then it should be stuck on there. Okay, so remember that when we come back to class. Slow and careful coloring, open and shut with your scissors with the thumb on top, and never squish your glue. When you're finished, it's really important that you twist it back down and you put your lid on and snap it shut. That way, it won't dry out. The other tool that you need when we do our class is you're going to need your eraser. You're going to need your pen, and you're going to need your whiteboard, because we do a lot of practice on those things. Here's the thing about this pen though, friends. When you take it off, there's a little tab at the bottom that you can stick in, and that keeps your lid safe. But if you forget to put the lid back on when we're all done, your pen isn't going to work anymore. So friends, we need to make sure we always put our lid back on our pen and we push it till we hear it click. Okay, then we know it's ready. So next week, we are going to start learning about some letters. And these are the letters we're going to talk about next week. We're going to talk about the letter A. And this is Andy Apple. And so we say A, Andy Apple, and we go ah, ah, ah. So that's the letter A. Another letter we're going to learn is the letter M. And this is Missy Mouse. And we say M, Missy Mouse, and we go And then this is S. S, Sammy Seal. And you take your arm and you pretend like you're sliding down, and you go S, S. And then we're going to learn about the letter C. And this is C, Cali Cat. And we go K, 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 like he's petting his face and cleaning his claws. K, K, K. C, Cali Cat. And then the last letter we're going to learn next week is the letter T. And this is T, Tiggy Tiger. And then you take your arms and you pretend like you're exercising, and you go t, 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 Tiggy Tiger, t, t, t. Now, boys and girls, Mrs. Armitage is going to do something fun with you. I'm going to pick a few kids every day to find something in their house that starts with the letter that we're learning. Now, it won't be everybody on every day because we won't have time. So I'm going to send a letter to your mommies and daddies, letting them know what day your letter is going to be. And then this weekend, I want you to look around the house and find one thing that starts with that letter. If my letter were the letter A, you know what I could look for? I could look for an apple. Maybe that would be something you could show. Or maybe Mommy has an apron that you could show us. So you be thinking, okay, and have your family help you. All right, my friends. I will see you on Monday. Don't forget to always be safe, be kind, and be a hard worker, because you're a Griffin. I'll see you Monday.